If you're currently learning a language and not seeing much progress, there's a high chance you're not getting enough comprehensible input. And if you don't know what that means, be prepared to turn your language learning world upside down. So generally, we divide the two strategies of learning a language. The first one is what basically everyone is doing, is grammar exercises. So grammar exercises, there are two ways we can learn it. Either by self-study, this is by doing an online course or a textbook or a website. And the second way is to have a teacher who's teaching you the grammar rules. So he's explaining you, this is the rule, how it works, this is how you drop the end, and this is where you edit it then, and yeah, this is how it goes. And what we usually can see is that people go from one app to the next textbook and to the next solution, and they learn the same rule again and again, and then they are still surprised that they still can't use it. And the same thing happened to me, and therefore I was searching for a new strategy. And then there's a second way of learning a language, and this is how you learned your very first language. So let me ask you, when you learned your mother tongue, did you study textbooks? Did you study grammar rules? Have you been afraid of doing mistakes? Probably none of those. And this is because as a child, you just learn a language by immersing yourself into the language. So you listen to your parents, maybe they get some friends there, and then you listen to this conversation, and this is how it works. Your brain has those neurons inside your neural network, and it naturally finds connections. After some point, a child starts speaking, and then it will all come naturally. So a child never says to himself, I have to start speaking now, and I'm not good enough, and I can't make mistakes, and all of that stuff. It just starts speaking at some point after it had enough comprehensible input. And comprehensible input means acquiring a language by context. So if you listen enough to a scene and there's a one word coming again in another scene, and yeah, then at some point you will naturally start to understand what is this word used for, in which context, and then you start also using it by yourself. So old language learning is learning by exercises, focusing on grammar, creating right or wrong, punishing mistakes, depending on others, forcing language into your brain, learning in an abstract way, and the goal is to be perfect. New language acquisition is acquiring by context, focus on comprehensible input, understanding more or less, embraces mistakes, independent, naturally absorbs language, learning from real conversations, and goal is to understand messages. And what most people don't know is that this strategy was previously available only for upper intermediate or advanced language learner. The game has changed in this year. Because nowadays we have AI, and AI enables us to learn from real conversation from day one. So this is a revolution. We will never need grammar exercises again, because if you learn from real conversation, you can still understand the grammar, but it's much easier to understand the grammar rule by learning it from a context. And while there are different ways to surround yourself with comprehensible input, for example, podcasts or magazines, webtoons, and TV shows, I highly recommend the last one, because we want to train our ear from day one to understand native speakers speaking, and therefore, yeah, the way to go here is Netflix.
And this is how it goes. You simply go to Netflix, watch a TV show that you like, and then play one sentence.
나보다 더한 사람도 하는 게 살살이더라.
And I have an extension here called Language Reactor, which enables me to have both subtitles, the Korean here and the English one. So I simply copy this, go into my desired AI. I created this AI Korean reactor for my students. I paste it here and click generate results. And then I go through every grammar point that I don't understand. For example, here at the end, the idora, she explained, and I just read this, and then I go to the next sentence.
So while at the beginning it takes a lot of time to deconstruct one sentence, the speed will come by itself. So if you see the same grammar rule again and again, then at some point it makes click in your brain. The next time you see the same grammar rule again, you don't have to look it up anymore. So at the beginning, we spend a lot of time on one sentence, and the number of sentences is very low. And while we proceed in our journey, it will invert itself. So at the end, we will spend very little time on one sentence, and we can have a high number of sentences in the same amount of time. So this strategy is very easy and very prone to succeed, because everything you have to do is just do this every day and then your speed will come automatically by itself, naturally. And speed is, as you know, the biggest problem language learners are facing in the beginning. But yeah, as it goes with every new skill that you're training, in the beginning you're very slow, and then you will get very fast at the end, and this is how it goes. So just do your daily work. For example, do like 60 minutes every day, and I recommend to start with 50 minutes, and then 30, and then 45, and then 60 maybe at the end. And then you will become the fluent speaker you always dreamed of being. If you want to learn more tricks about learning a language better, check out my other videos, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.